Good morning. Good almost afternoon. Technically, let me lower myself down a little bit here. I take it you can hear me. Who's quick on the sound check, please? Wanted to get on a little bit earlier, but this is morning for me because I stay up very late sometimes on my days off. And thanks, Patrick. But my mornings on my days off sometimes are like get up at 9 a.m. instead of the traditional early morning because I'll stay up till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning doing other things like working on drones. So, but real quick, say hello to everybody. Patrick, you said my volume was, you could hear me, but is the gain up high enough, guys? Because that's one thing I always forget to check, because when I go from doing like a recording for a video here that I'm going to publish, the gain's always different from when I go live for some reason. I don't know why. But excellent. Thank you. Much better weather today, isn't it, Patrick? Compared to yesterday, getting snow here it was an April Fool's snow. Mother Nature playing a cruel one on us, but nothing that stuck or anything. But they were huge snowflakes. But go through real quick and do a roll call here. And I want to try to use my tablet if I can. That way I can just keep an eye on you guys there. But it'll probably go into standby because I didn't set it. I'm having a hell of a time with the triple tech going from this back to an Android. So that's what I'm trying to use here to just watch the chat so I can be looking in this direction. But it will go into a standby. But I'm going to scroll through here. And Joe Powers, Ray Sharp, Little Mountain Life Dawn, and see, it's already distracting me. Mike Kinney's on the road, and sorry guys. Okay. Mike Kinney on the road listening with us, and Gene Fox, and drone. I always have a hard time with drone-graphy. I always want to say dronography. Kingpin, Dave Reynolds, Gene, I already got you. Flyzone Drone. Oh, I always get messed up. Mikey, Sergio. You guys need to make it so both of you have your names on there. I always forget. But hello. And Turbo Led, David Hill, and Hal 9000 Zigzag Ground Zero, and Mike Renock, and Michael Todorov. I'm butchering the hell out of it as many times as I can. And Flying Flynn John, Henry Novas, and Gasket Mike. And let's see, I already got you. I already spoke with you, Patrick Wasmunsky, and is it Jeffy FPV? Jeef or Jeffy? Roy Harper, one of my biggest fans, Roy Harper. Roy, I really appreciate, Roy, I'll publish a video, and there's certain groups that I'll go and put videos in and share them so people will watch them, obviously. And Roy beats me to the punch. And a lot of people message me and will actually refer to him as my biggest fan and say, he referred me to you, blah, blah, blah. So, Roy, thank you. Thank you. That's greatly appreciated when people share a video. That's what kind of helps your algorithm. If people are, you get a score basically. So when people share your videos and stuff like that, instead of me sharing it myself, it actually kind of keeps you up there, I think, on the search on YouTube. So, Roy, that does really help. And I think I got the rest of you, maybe not. Let me go on down here. PN, Peter, Rick Racine. And I always want to say Racine, like racing cars. And then Wind Walker Drones. Wow, really a lot of you popping up here on a Saturday morning. It is Saturday, right? Yeah. I'm really screwed up on my days. It's my 4-day weekend. Plus my wife is gone for the weekend, so I'm a bachelor, and I'm lost. I don't know what today is. But no, Saturday morning. Saturday lunchtime almost. And I got Windwalker Drones, Nicholas, and Eric Lipinski, Chris Reynolds. Wow, guys. You're really keeping me going here. Apologize if I get this one wrong, as I often get them wrong. Araya. I'm going to say RA Beats. Hopefully I got that right. And going on down, I think I got everybody. Yes, finally got everybody. All right, so this isn't going to be anything like really getting in depth to all the stuff. We'll briefly touch base kind of on what's going on with the Evo series, but what I want to do is I want to do my normal traditional live tonight, if that works out. Chad so far will not be able to join me in doing so. So far it looks like I'd be going solo, and that's never fun, trying to share my screen, showing the latest pictures, talking about those, because there are some very interesting things that have popped up with this DJI Mini 3 that I just would really love to talk about and get in depth with, but also have somebody to kind of sit here and go over it with me. So I don't know. I possibly will go into a more in-depth live tonight at my normal 8 o'clock time whenever I pop up and do those. But it is a nice day, Windwalker. It is a nice day. It's very sunny outside today. And I am going to hopefully get out. But listen, I want to get out and do some stuff to show with the Nano. You can see here I've gone back to Old Faithful. I've gone back to my original, the one everybody said it's pre-release, and this is the one that's junk and all that. Actually, the one they sent me, that turned out to be the crappier one. This has turned out to be the better one, the very first releases. There is no difference other than where the gimbal dampers are and such. So I've already made those changes. But I've gone back to this one. I don't have the crabbing issues and all that. And if you guys followed me on it, the one that they sent me for replacement that I said I was going to give away if somebody popped up that looked like a good case to give it away. And by that, I try to look for somebody that really, really needs it. And I did. I found somebody. Unfortunately, he's got the same cancer my mom had. He has pancreatic cancer. And that's never good. Pancreatic cancer is terrible. But he had a terrible experience with the one and only Hubsan Xeno 2 that he owned. And if you know that one, it's got the terrible sun glare and all that. So he's never had a really good, decent camera. And that's the one thing you can definitely say about this drone. It's definitely come along, and it's something that I can feel comfortable giving to somebody and not saying, here, I'm handing you junk. I did let him know that it's got the crab flight occasionally. It's very weird some of its characteristics. But I shouldn't say I gave it away, because I've done repairs for him in the past, and he had my information and everything, and he went and slipped a good old $100 into my PayPal. So that I'm putting 100% towards my children's charities for probably St. Jude on that one, which goes to free care funds for Children's Hospital here in Pittsburgh, or St. Jude's, whichever one I do at the time, to pay for 100% free care for these kids. But I gave him that one, and if he pops up in the chat and wants to say, hey, it's me, that's up to him. But I feel very good about that one. And if you guys know my history with cancer, my mom having pancreatic cancer, that one felt good. That felt really good to make that happen for him. So she's gone, and in his hands now, and hopefully a good flyer, and brings him some peace and enjoyment when he can get out and fly. So, and then he also wanted me to say, let people know if I talked about it, that he is going to pass it along should things go in the wrong direction for him. So I haven't updated yet. I've got both of these guys not updated. So I was going to just go ahead and hook up while I'm sitting here doing the live and do the updates, but I mean, you guys don't want to watch that, but we'll go over real quick what's in the changes. Most of you already know, because I'm just coming in late talking about it. And somebody made a comment. I've been wondering where you were. I don't jump on YouTube right away with all these things all the time. I'm not the YouTuber that feels like I have to get out there and do something every 2 or 3 days. I don't care about the algorithm and all that so much to where I have to do that. I like to enjoy my experience with YouTube, so I'll go through a phase where we have something new, and then I'll attack it. And then I'll go into my down mode of actually having a life. I work a 40-hour week. I have a family. I have things I need to do, and I also fix a ton of drones for people. That's turned into a drone repair business, basically. So I'm not constantly, running to YouTube to make a video. But I did want to definitely get out today and this morning and make a little live here with you guys. And I want to spend more time interacting with you guys in the chat, so I'll do that. But I want to make sure I keep that active. I have it printed out here, so it's not a huge update. It does have some good things, but it's also going to make it. I think the Nano and the Lite, it's going to kind of bother people from both sides. Nano lacking something Lite gets something Nano, whatever. One or the other is lacking what the other one is getting, and that would disappoint people, I'm sure. So the new features added HDR video support and log mode for the Evo Nano Plus. That's a pretty big one. I think that's probably the most important update of all four, not all the updates, but out of this update, that's the most important item on the Nano list. Added dynamic tracking, person only, on the Evo Lite, and then added Wi-Fi fast downloading, added online service requests. So they've done a few different online application type things. Added the histogram display. That's actually pretty big, and I don't know if that's both for Nano and for Lite, but that's pretty big because that's something a lot of people were looking for. So that's a comment that came up from time to time, that there was no histogram display. So that's nice that that's there. And then the other one is, this one confuses me. And if you saw my flight where I had to do the emergency landing, and if you really want to call that emergency landing, I got so lucky on the spot that I was able to land it at. But, I got down to that critical battery and it force landed. And I had to go and do my little search and recovery, which is all in that video. But that was a battery issue where it just started depleting extremely fast from what I was used to with that quad anyhow. But they added the feature to upgrade the battery firmware individually. So for me, I'm going to call that one a red flag, because we could already update the batteries. You would put each battery in, and maybe not the first time you put it in, but the second or third time you put it in, it would say firmware update, and then you had a 20-minute update for each battery. So now they're saying they've added this feature to update the batteries, which I don't understand. So I'm kind of hinting towards maybe there was or is a problem with the battery, at least on the Nano. From my experience, the Lite has been fine. And I've also already seen people in comments of other videos and the one I posted about this firmware update that it's not even prompting them to update their other batteries. So I'll find out when I update them, and I'll do that another time. I was going to prop it up here on a box and update it while I'm live, but I'd rather kind of interact with you guys and then talk more on the DJI Mini 3. Not so much in detail and popping up all the latest pictures and all that, but talk more on that. But, wow, 44 of you people in here. Isn't everybody at the South Florida Drone Meetup? I know I'm not. I would have liked to have gone, but you know me. I'm kind of the guy that's on the outs, and it's not my crowd when it comes to Ray Kelly, and I won't get into all that kind of drama, but he got a little goofy on me, so I decided, you know what, I can't support something if somebody's going to be the way he was being, so that's as far as I'll go into that. But going into the Mini 3, it's definitely turned out to be what the sketches have said, except it's got me really wondering what's going on with this camera. We know that the camera is going to point up, or at least that's what they say, just like the Parrot Anafi would. But the gimbal itself, I'm still sticking with, if you guys have watched that last live with Chad and I, where we kind of have our little side bets. He says 2-axis, I say 3-axis. And looking at these pictures that popped up today, which I'm not going to pop them up on the screen here, but looking at those, if I could, I would, is what I should say, because StreamYard is not letting me do a screen share. But it looks to me like it's a 3-axis. So if you look at it very closely, it's got something that really has my attention, and it's showing its 2-axis points, but the backside that we can't see would be the 3rd axis, plus the camera is tilted in that 3rd axis position that we can't see. So I'm going to say that it is a 3rd axis. I'm sticking with that one. But the other thing is, if you look at the pictures, you'll see on the position they're holding it, on the right-hand side, there's a round rubber, looks like a dampener, but nothing is hooked, nothing is attached to that damper. So that's what's really kind of got my focus. Like, what the hell is that? Like, I have no idea. Chad and I have talked about it this morning. He thinks, or his guess is that he thinks it could possibly be that they would have another version camera that you could swap in and out. My thought was maybe there's going to be a pro version that has a different type of camera. Maybe not a sub 249 version that has a bigger, beefier camera, different camera specs or whatever. But either different versions or different cameras that you can put in and out like Evo does, like the Evo 2. But if you look at this pictures, it's very strange how they have it. And you won't be able to see it if I pull it up on my phone, but the way oh wow, look, I made it on the board. I just got from Chad B's on there too. I just got a picture from Chris, Key Largo dude. And there was a big board that somebody sketched of all the YouTubers the drone community people, whoever. I don't know if it's all YouTubers, but at the South Florida drone meetup. So I was number 64. You really probably can't see it. No, you're not going to be able to see it, but I'll post that up in my group. If you guys want to go in and join my group, anybody that's not a part of that, let me pop that link in there now. It's QC Guy community group, and it's a Facebook group, but it's just all a real community. So I'm going to pop that link in there now. And if you're not a part of that group, join it. And Chris has posted that picture in there. And it's actually a very good drawing. Kind of looks like me. It's all goatee, but whatever. I got a beard, guys. It's nice and trim now, but I've got a beard. But yeah, I like that. That's cool. And I think I see Chad B in there as well. Yeah, Chad B made it. He's number 14. That is very cool. And he's smiling. That's pretty rare. But anyhow, what do you guys think? I mean, I can go on and ramble on about the Mini 3, but what do you guys think about it? From the pictures. I'm sure everybody has seen the pictures, but it's got the rear facing sensors that are directly behind the front forward facing sensors. I don't want to get really into detail because I would rather do a live with somebody else pulling it where we are pulling up the pictures and actually talking about it. But we have the rear sensors. It looks like a bigger battery. It's an ion, lithium ion. And our Chad's ears, no, they're crooked. His ears are crooked in the picture. They're not symmetrical like it's a perfect likeness of Chad. His ears are not straight. That was good. But it's got the rear facing sensors directly in front of the frog lights there. This thing looks like a frog with those front sensors, but that's going to be interesting how that works out and how well that plays. It's I'm not so worried about it being a DJI. I'm not a DJI fanboy by any means, but I mean they do tend to do things better. So and they have absolutely zero reason to rush this thing out. Evo or Autel, nobody else is on their tail right now, but I think 3-axis. That's the question I want to ask you guys. Do you, from looking at these pictures, from hearing the rumors, listening to me and Chad talk about it last time, do you think it's 2-axis or do you think it's 3-axis? That's the big kicker. I don't want a 2-axis gimbal. I don't care how good they are at stabilizing this image. I do not want a 2-axis gimbal. I want it to be a 3-axis gimbal. I don't want a horizon tilt, but I do want a 3-axis gimbal. And with that ability to point up higher. But just so far I'm seeing 3-axis from a couple here. Mike Kenny says he hears there will be two versions. That kind of would make sense to me if you look at those pictures and see that blank damper that's not being used in the pictures we're looking at. Looks like a mini Anafi. Based off the camera, yeah, but a mini Anafi would be even more of a mini, I think, because the Anafi itself looks nothing like any other drone as far as how all these other minis are. So yeah, it looks like a mini Anafi with the camera type, but not the rest of the quad, in my opinion. Another YouTuber. Now, why do we have to go unnamed here? Another YouTuber that will go unnamed said 2 versions, one being a pro. Well, that's where we were going as well. That's what we had said last time on my live. Is that, well, at least I think there will be or hope there will be a standard and a pro version. But I was basing that off the controller type. So maybe. You can cough up names here, buddy. You can say who that other person was. It's nothing bad anyhow. But Yeah, and I think a lot of people agree on this one too. Rather have no obstacle avoidance and then have a 3-axis gimbal. I would rather have no obstacle avoidance, um, unless maybe they added side avoidance. That's where I think the most important. I would rather not have any downward. I would rather have side, front, and back. Downward, I'm fine. Forward, when you're flying, they shoot a wide enough, obstacle avoidance detection surface area, grid area, whatever. They hit enough of that to where it keeps you from taking and clipping something like this. So obstacle avoidance underneath me, it usually is, it really serves no purpose whatsoever. I never, like this one here not working, it never was anything I noticed whatsoever. It was fine with it not working. I would rather have them on the sides, and the reason I say that is when people are doing, you'll see it so many times, people doing their videos where they'll use a feature where they're doing like an orbit around a focused point, and then boom, they smack into a tree because there's no side obstacle avoidance. That's where, if they did that on a Mini 3, or even if they had done that on a Nano and been able to keep that at 249 grams, that would have been huge. No downward. Unless I'm missing somewhere, I don't need missing something somewhere. I don't need downward facing. Yeah, I think most are saying going with the 3-axis gimbal. This is where I really wish Chad was here, because he is sticking with the 2-axis. And if you guys watched the last live with us, we were going back and forth on some of those things. But I say 3-axis, and so far you guys seem to be in agreement with that as well. If you look at the pictures, it definitely looks 3-axis. If the camera were perfectly straight on that 3rd axis point versus the other access points, if the camera was straight, I could say, it's possibly a 2-axis, but it's showing the 2-axis motors, and then the 3rd one we cannot see, but the camera is tilted, and that would be that axis, that gimbal motor that we can't see. So that's just my make of looking at it. But it was Captain Drone. Yeah, and as far as I know, I think he's been kind of left out in the dark with DJI. Hasn't he kind of gotten? Didn't he get pushed out in the cold from DJI? I don't know. I know you get, once you get to a certain point on YouTube, you can get into that DJI circle where you can have it for a week or two and test it. And I don't know if I seem to recall he was bitter about DJI for a short period of time there. But, I mean, he's big enough and in this enough to where he's got enough connections, and maybe he is right there, a pro version versus a standard version. I just hope that if they have a pro version with a different type of camera, here's my worry, that will also come with the Pro controller, and that will force me to buy that version with the Pro controller, where I don't think at this point I want a Pro controller if that's an option. I'm not crazy about that whole screen down below, hands on top, and blocking the screen to use your sticks, unless you're using a lanyard and you're a pincher, and that way you can fully see your screen. I'm not crazy about that at all. So, yeah, side shows you exactly what you can't see, and if you're going to give us these features that put you into flying sideways, which is also when you're flying manually and you want to get some really cool shots, flying sideways, those are some of your best shots. Like when you're coming around, dropping in altitude and kind of doing a half circle around something or whatever to try and create a really cool cinematic shot. Well, boom, there's that bush or that tree you weren't expecting, and that can be a little bit of a problem. It's not. I don't see. that's a good one there, David. What's the big attraction with the mini-sized drones? The Air 2 series is a perfect size. I agree. It's a perfect size, but I don't know what it is for you guys or anybody else, what the big attraction is for it. But for me, as a YouTube reviewer, kind of, I like whatever's the big hot news, with the exception of when you get into something that's just something I'm not going to utilize the way I think it should be utilized, like the Mavic 3. I'm not going to grab that. But when it comes to stuff like this, it's a big attraction for me. Did I need to have a Nano? Absolutely not. Can I live without a Nano? Absolutely. Did I absolutely have to have the Lite when I have an Evo 2 and this thing's almost the same size as that? No, I did not have to have it. But I am glad that I got this one. This one actually might be favored over the Evo 2 Pro that I have. I'm not there yet, but I'm very happy with that. This, guys, this is going to be the forgotten quad. This is going to be the Autel mistake. If you're as picky as I am and you have expectations that I have based off of things that are promised in a win category that they put this thing in, I'm disappointed, and others should be disappointed as well, especially at the price point that sucker's hit. That leads us to the price point of the Mini 3. Haven't had any confirmation yet as to exactly what the price is, unless you guys have seen something I haven't. But David, I'm going to be spending a lot of money on that Mini 3 if it's a high price. The attraction for me is just not keeping up with the Joneses, but being up there on the latest thing. And the other thing is I can always sell. Like, I can always sell a quad, give away a quad like I did the other Nano I had. You can always sell. You can always get pretty close to what you paid for them if you take care of them, especially if you've gone and added a nice case and stuff like that. I've never had a problem selling quads and getting a price that I'm comfortable with. But for I think a lot of people really are going to wait out, especially it's going to be the price tag. When that price tag comes out high, if it comes out up there high like the Nano, I think a lot more people are good. That's going to be the I'm sitting and wait price. I'm going to make sure that this $1,000 I drop, or $900 or $800, whatever it may be, I think this is going to be the put me on the fence moment for most people. The price is going to be the main thing there to make that decision for a lot of people. Guarantee it. And Joe says, put everything into the camera. Yeah, these are camera quads, and all I ask is that when it comes out, make sure everything works on the camera. Don't give me a gimbal tilt, anything like that. That's when I start raising hell on my channel with a drone, and people think I'm whining or whatever. No, it's a camera drone. It's a high quality camera drone, and that should be almost 100%, almost 100%, over 90%. That camera needs to be perfect. Dropout features and things like that, I don't care. But flight stability of that baby, a good stable starting firmware update with everything you advertise. Autel F that all up. They didn't give us what was advertised. And you could still technically say we don't have what is advertised when it comes to that quad. The wind speed rating on that is wrong. I totally think it's wrong. Yeah, I agree. I think it's pretty obvious that we will see an outrageous price on a Pro version for sure. I really do. I really think we will see an outrageous price. And hopefully it will be able to get over here to the US. So for you, Jan, it's, mini drones are your hiking hobby best solution, and you just need a better camera. So that goes on to the comment from Dave as to the attraction in these drones. But for you using it for hiking or whatever, you're probably one that uses features and so forth. So I would imagine you would also fall into what I was talking about with a drone that has side sensors. And I still, I don't know, I still don't understand the 100% need to have bottom sensors. It's just something I never run into. And then as much as I fly directly over top of water, that would take that out of the picture too, to where they wouldn't act goofy on water, where I've been extremely lucky with that. If you guys have seen me skim the water with my drones, and I've seen plenty of other people do it, and they do want to come down. They will give you wrong height measurements, and you have to be really aware of what's going on there. Oops, I already got you. In Germany, yeah, and see, that's the other thing, Dave. The minis, for a lot of people, I think that's where you're going here. In Germany, the mini size is a legal issue. We are allowed to fly in more locations. So yeah, Canada, other areas, Europe, it's a huge attraction. So why not want the very best you can have? All the things that this guy here has, if you can pack them into this successfully, into a mini size, and these guys that don't get all the bonus features of things like the big quads have, that's a big attraction, I think, for these guys. It's not for majority of people in the US. It's not, I don't think, if you took a poll, it's not a must-have. If you go do a poll for everybody in the US, it's not a must-have mini, when you can go and buy so many other drones. Especially, when you get down to the minis and wind is a factor. I'm more interested in a mini because I don't want to take lessons and such for certification to be, I'm saying certification, for a certificate to be allowed to fly. Yeah, to get certification, to be able to fly, that falls into the same issue in different areas. Here, you don't have to go and jump through hoops to be able to fly yet. I don't think we're going to see this price. I really don't think we're going to see it on the standard or anything. I think it's going to be higher than that, which is where also Chad and I have our bet. So when all that comes out and Chad and I are doing a live, that's where I guess we need to actually figure out what the bet is. Got to come up with something there. But yeah, we bet on price and 2-axis versus 3-axis. So even after seeing the pictures, we're still on that axis bet. And remote ID is looming. Yes, it is. Yeah, and this is going to be the quad to just, it can last and last and last. This this is one of the best creations DJI put out as far as being something that's good this year, next year, and the year after, whatever that is, whatever competition comes with it. If you're extremely happy with this quad now, you're going to be happy with this quad for some time, and you're fortunate to have that quad. If you're fortunate to have that quad when these other things come out, it's no problem to wait and see. You're not jumping to get something spectacular. And I'm not extremely picky on cameras. So these quads would last me if I was just the average flyer, average hobbyist, not doing YouTube, not doing anything for a living with them. That Air 2S would be my baby for a long, long time. Price and camera comparison between Nano and Mini 3 will be the important stuff. Exactly. It's going to be very interesting to see what comes up in price. It's price and what they do with this camera is where my focus really is on this. No pun intended on the focus. Renee still has his original Xena 1, flies flawless, but I'm not allowed to fly anymore. That's why it's flying flawless, because you're not allowed to fly it anymore. Now, I get it. Yeah, so much has changed in such a quick period of time over the years. It's especially like 6 years ago, there was no mention of FAA. You didn't have to jump through hoops. You just had to have a number. I remember when we had to first start putting the numbers on our quads, and people made such a big deal out about that. And it was said then, just wait, look where it's going to come. And don't even get me started on that, because I am not Part 107. I will hold out on that as long as I can. I do not believe that I have to be a Part 107 pilot, because I have a YouTube channel that is not a registered business, even though it generates an income. My other argument is a majority of my stuff that I make as an income goes to charity. And I do things for a not for a living, but I do things for money with my quads. And a simple waiver is all you need. I don't like the FAA telling me what to do. I understand there's rules and things like that. You guys see how I fly. I break the rules, yes. Rules. And laws, I guess you can say. But I also use some common sense. Yeah, I'll fly out of line of sight. Where am I flying? I am flying over water. And then you have people flying over top of cities, over top of buildings, over top of houses, over top of crowds and highways and things like that. I am flying over top of water and woods and farms. I might hurt a cow. So I am, that's a topic, that's a whole nother topic. Maybe I'll go off on a Part 107 or FAA rant on a whole nother live, but you will see that I will stick it out as long as I can before I'll go and bend and get a Part 107. There's so many new pilots. I'm in groups where it's a bunch of new pilots or old people or whatever, and there's so many people that are getting 107 certified because they think they have to, and just for the wrong reasons. They're not doing anything, making a living at it. Some of it is just the achievement of doing it, but it's more of a pain in the ass. So I'm holding out on that. I didn't mean to stay in that rant. But you guys know how I ramble on about shit. Congratulations, Eric. Congratulations, going to see the new great-grandson. Let me tell you guys, Eric is wonderful. Eric sent me something. After my last live with Chad, Eric messaged me and said, "Can I have your address? I would like to send you something." And I said, "Of course, absolutely. I love to get surprises. Any of you guys want to send me something? I'll give you my address. I don't hide my address. I don't do a P.O. box. You can come to my house." I love gifts when they are of a personal craft, something somebody has made by hand. If you look behind me, the QC, that was done by a friend and subscriber. That was cut out on a CNC machine, and he rusted it and clear coated it, put a lot of work into that. It took him a long time to do that, but he made that for me. There's all kinds of other little things that people have given me. Oh, you can't see it. I got the Bigfoot sign behind me now. That was just sent to me by a viewer. But Eric, this is awesome. This is a bottle opener. The old style, you can't see, it's out of focus. The old style, like cast iron bottle openers. But he put my logo QC on there. and that you can see it better, and a drone, all laser etched into the wood. And then I love that, but my favorite, he sent me 4 coasters for like my coffee mug or my beer or whatever, my cocktail. But these are made out of black slate, and these have my logo. Turn it so you can see my logo and the drone on there as well. Love these, love these. So he sent me 4 of them, and they'll be placed around the house wherever I frequent. My nightstand, my table by my chair when I watch TV, one here on my desk, and maybe I'll take one to work. But Eric, thank you so much for that. I love that. I love that. So anybody that's got their own handy little craft where you do things like the 3D printing of that sign behind me or these type of things, you want to send me a gift, I won't fight you on it. Just message me and I will give you my address. It is extremely appreciated. There's so many different things people have sent me, and I love them all, especially when it comes to something that somebody has handcrafted. You put your own work and thought into it. So, but congratulations, Eric, on the new great grandson. I'm working on getting that granddaughter, which is coming. She's a coming soon. Come May, I will have a granddaughter towards the second half of May. And her name, she should be in the South. My daughter lives in Ohio. Now, we are from Virginia. My daughter still sounds like she lives in Kentucky because she used to live in Kentucky. She's got that southern drawl. But this child should be living down south because my granddaughter's name will be Mabel, and her middle name will be Ann, just like my mother's middle name, and my mother-in-law's first name. So it's going to be Mabel Ann, and that sounds extremely southern. So the names that these kids or these people pick out for their children today are these old namesakes or names that have that old, I don't, sophisticated, I don't know what the word is I'm looking for. It's not sophisticated. Just the old time names that come back. So, like Sadie. Sadie was my grandmother's name. I also named my dog Sadie when I had my last dog before she passed away. But yeah, I will be a grandpa for those of you who did not know that. And she's already got her onesie ready for her that says QC Gal on the front of it. It's this logo, with the little rotor cap, and instead of guy at the bottom, it says Gal, nice and big on the chest. Pink onesie, so it's ready for her when she's born, and hopefully she'll be here this summer at my house because my daughter is a teacher and she's off all summer, and she does plan to come stay here, her and her husband. So QC Gal, Mabel Ann, will make her debut on my channel. And I'm not moving fast enough here through the chat, guys. We're at 48 minutes, and I'm holding on to you. I'm holding on to you, people. You crazy people. I think they should put the Nano camera on the Mini 3. It's a damn good camera. It's a damn good camera. But I hope DJI realizes that and knows that is one thing they've really got to step their game up on, because people were all amazed by the Nano camera. It's a shame that the rest of it is what it is. 10 months Air 2S, 3 minor crashes, 600 plus flights, 500 air miles. So far, it's the best drone ever. I have to agree with you. I can't argue with you on that, and I wouldn't dare. I'm pretty sure he means the Nano Plus camera. I always say Nano as well, but yeah, the Plus is that's the great camera right there, is the Nano Plus. I think, yes. Everybody, look, you're getting, Roy, damn it, you're going to get me back on this rant. I'm sorry. Every single person, let's take out 5% or 10% of the people. A majority of these people, all these channels, all these YouTubers, everybody that puts their stuff public and says, oh, I don't dare go that far. That's beyond line of sight. I don't dare do this or that. That's for the sake of the channel. That's for the sake of not getting busted because they're sitting there showing themselves on the sticks. Just don't show yourself on the sticks and you're fine. Because I'm not going to be that person that sits here and tells you I don't do these things. I'm going to publish them. I'm going to do them. I'm going to put them on my channel. I'm just not going to sit there and have it to where you can identify me on the sticks. So, you know, that's when Herbert's flying, not me. Herbert has the sticks. I'm just talking over his shoulder like I'm flying. So, prove it in a court of law is the whole issue there. And, yeah, this line of sight bullshit, especially when we get into these minis, you can keep your eye on that thing as much as you want. Let's stare at it. I'm flying. Let me look down real quick at my battery. Where'd it go? I just had my eye on it. I don't care what color it is, unless it's night and it's flashing strobes, you can't see it. It doesn't take long before that baby disappears. Sun's in your eyes, many things. I can have it so close going and flying in front of the water, the spillway at the reservoir. Once I get in front of that spillway, I can't see any drone I have, and I can only be less than 100 yards. It just blends in with the waterfall coming over that spillway. And there is no line of sight there. I will never trust line of sight anyhow, because depth perception on a majority of us is going to bite you. I was teaching my son-in-law how to fly the DJI Mini 2, and depth perception, that's what I was showing him a lot of, is making him get close to trees and doing figure eights between them, and depth perception really messed with him. Then I let him focus on the camera or on the FPV of your screen, and it was so much easier for him, and he realized objects are not as close as they appear. So it looks like you're going to hit the treetops, but you're really this high above them. It looks like in the camera you're down here. But yeah, I 100% agree. A majority of people, especially all these people that are preaching, following rules and all that, they're not doing it. And another issue is people that just got their Part 107 and they think they're Barney Fife, and they have to report everybody, and trust me, you guys have seen my range flights, you know I get the comments, and you know I get people messaging me and people saying things in Facebook about all that. So and they're always that type. They want to recite every rule verbatim to me, copy and paste. And I know the rules. I've read a lot of them. I could probably go take the test right now and pass it. I'm not a fake flyer here. Been doing this a long time, and then you go and impose rules on me. It's like telling me now I have to drive on the other side of the road. It's not something that I would easily adapt to. So I'm not going to easily adapt to anything the FAA says. I'm going to use common sense. You can't really cite me for anything on my channel that is harming anybody. Except the drone. How long have you had this vendetta against cows? Hey, beef, it's what's for dinner, buddy. I don't know, handmade rocks. Is that what you do? Do you paint rocks? Mike, if that's what you do, send me a hand-painted rock. If you're referring to getting the slate, maybe that's what you're talking about. But if you want to hand paint a rock and send it to me, send it to me. And I mean it, everybody. Send me something. Gene, Bigfoot, yes, I believe. Bigfoot's not out here. I always make the comment that I fly in Bigfoot country. That's why the Bigfoot sign was sent to me. This is not known to be Bigfoot country. This is definitely not Bigfoot. But that's just meaning I fly in the middle of nowhere. So, Gene, maybe you're more Bigfoot area. I don't know. What is Bigfoot area? Where is Bigfoot supposed to live? I forget. All right, so now everybody, I can fly on through here because everybody is telling Eric he did a great job, which he did. Okay, so line of sight makes more sense. Makes no sense whatsoever. Why have a video? Yes, exactly. So it's funny, though, a lot of the people that say I do fly line of sight, you catch them and they're staring at their screen the whole time in their video, but they're not technically keeping their eye or having somebody with them, a spotter with them, keeping an eye on that drone. And same goes with goggles. FPV flyers, having a spotter. I use the drone mask. There's nobody with me. I don't have a spotter. It's the same as me looking down. I couldn't see that quad if I tried. So those are the ridiculous rules. The only time I enjoy flying line of sight is just around the backyard. Take the Mini 2 out, sit on the back patio, have a beer. Yeah, drinking and flying, guys. Drink a beer, whatever, cocktail, fly around. Get up close to the deer when they're out in the yard, stuff like that. Bigfoot lives in Oregon. Thank you. Thank you, Patrick. Technically, he could live anywhere. That's just where the most sightings have been, is Oregon. He could be anywhere. I mean, he's Bigfoot. He can travel. It's all he does is walk the wilderness and woods. So he could have left Oregon. There we go. Well, there we go right there. He's all over the United States. His real name is First Nations People. See, he doesn't have to necessarily be in Oregon. Oh, I'm 64. Been hunting Kentucky since I was 6. Following my pop around as a kid. Bigfoot ain't made me rich yet. So you haven't had your sightings. It's funny how these things turn into a complete different. I should have put Bigfoot in the title. It is said Bigfoot is from Oregon. That would have been a good trivia question to do a giveaway. Bigfoot, I thought was. I thought this was about the Mini 3. Yeah, see? Yeah, Johnny, or Jonathan. It's just a morning live to talk about a little bit touch base on the Mini 3 and Nano updates, which I already did. I don't think anybody is really so excited about the Autel Evos, which you can tell when you post videos and you see other people's videos. You can tell by just the interaction you get in comments. You can tell by the views, obviously. And this one, as much as I'm liking it, the Lite Plus, it's an expensive drone for one. That might be a big part of it, but it's not giving people the wow factor or the interest I think Autel would expect from this quad. I don't think Autel's seeing the sales they even nearly intended on or planned on seeing, especially when it comes with this one. And I'm going to call this one the Forgotten Quad, because as soon as the Mini 3 comes out, except for not having your fly zone issues, as long as they don't impose that here, which doesn't matter in the near future, but this is going to be the Forgotten Quad. It's going to be the GoPro. The GoPro version. But yeah, it is about DJI 3. It's about anything we want to talk about, Jonathan. So Is there anything you want to say, Jonathan, about the Mini 3 that we have not touched base on? I don't want, like I said, I don't want to get fully in depth in it. I do have some sheets here of some stuff about it, but I would rather do a live, like I said, with somebody else, like Chad, or have somebody else where we can keep up with the chat at the same time while sharing a screen, showing the pictures of the quads or the quad pictures, get into my logic or my common sense thinking of the way I see things mechanically, like the camera gimbal, and stuff like that. So if there's anything you want to touch further base on, Jonathan, let me know. I apologize that we stepped off into Bigfoot land here. Gasket Mike, look where I live, Pattersonville. I look at every flight I make in the mountains for that sucker. And then you're probably one too, that flight line of sight and all that is probably big bullshit for you. If you're out in the wilderness, out in the mountains, and it's too tempting to go out and see things that you normally would never see, from viewpoints you would never see. Flying over top of areas that you couldn't even trek on foot is what's so nice about not flying line of sight. I'm not a park flyer. I'm not going to sit here and fly corner to corner in a park for you guys on YouTube and bore you to death with that crap. What's my email? So I can send you a pic of footprints of Dogman. Who's Dogman? I guess that's a thing in Vermont. If you want my email, it's qcguy.chris@gmail.com. qcguy.chris@gmail.com. I thought you were going to send me something, Gene. I thought you were looking for my real address. Can you guys see I'm like begging here? I'm begging for you guys to send me gifts. My birthday is June 23rd. Put that on the calendar. Send me something in June for my birthday, or send me something for becoming a grandfather in May, whatever you like, or just being a wonderful, kind, friendly face here on YouTube, in this wonderful, child-friendly channel that I have. So yeah, Jonathan, you came along late, so you did miss some stuff that we talked about, but the front looks crazy with those sides. Yeah, and that leads to where the gimbal can point up in a upward direction, where a lot of people probably won't use that, but I've gone and flown into the spillway waterfall. I went to this place called Buttermilk Falls, where Mr. Rogers used to frequent as a child. Mr. Rogers is from my area. That's the big famous person from here. There's a lot of famous people from here, actually. But it's called Buttermilk Falls, and it's beautiful. Beautiful little place tucked down in the woods. Can't fly your drones there anymore. But I took the Paradenofi, and I went right up underneath that water, pointed that camera up to where the water drops were coming right down on top of the camera. Unfortunately, that was in my days where when I edited, I did not set the project for the proper camera settings I was using, and the quality for that did not turn out nearly as well as it should have. I should go back and actually redo that one. But okay, sure. Saw the picture. Yeah, so Jonathan, that's what I don't want to sit here and repeat everything, but that's what we were talking about in the very beginning. And again, that is something I want to leave for more of a live that I have somebody here to talk with as well. So Akira Show, you showed up here. You popped in. Nice to see you. I'm going to double what I sent last year. What'd you send last year? There was somebody else that asked me, yeah, What size do I wear? I'm in denial, and I say I wear a size large, but as you get older, you do get one of these guys. So technically, well, as you get older and you don't take care of yourself, and you still eat like you did when you had a metabolism of a teenager, you get one of these little bellies. It's old chest. I used to have a nice big muscular chest. It just, as my dad used to say, it dropped. But I wear an extra large. So like the shirt I'm wearing now, this is an extra large. All my t-shirts I buy now are extra large, sweatshirts and things like that. So I wear an extra large. And wonder what you're sending, or if you're going to send me something. And I do love shirts. I love people's shirts. I have a lot of, like, I have Original Dobo. I have Johnny Drone Flyer. I don't wear Johnny Drone Flyer's shirt. I don't think I've worn it live. I wear it, but Don from Little Mountain Life, you see me wear his often. Things like that. I don't generally wear shirts where I have somebody's name, which is probably why I don't wear the Johnny Drone Flyer so much, because then people might think I'm Johnny Drone Flyer if I'm out in public wearing that shirt. Like, I wouldn't wear Chad B. I would not wear Chad B on my shirt. That's why on my QC shirts, it's just QC. It's my brand. QC, that's my brand. I don't put QC Guy on there. I think a lot of men would probably be like, yeah, I don't want Guy on there. Just QC. Most people see that logo, they know it's QC Guy. So, yeah, this is where those cameras, okay, that's a very good point you make right there. This is where having that camera, the ability to shoot upward more. I don't know what the full range it's not been confirmed 100% if it's going to be full range, but, we might have an issue with props or what have it, but that's going to be another factor, is how far those arms come out, because we don't see it folded out. People say it's going to be more like dead cat, where the arms are straight out. I don't see it being able to be a dead cat, but definitely it might be where it comes back a little bit. Or if you do like a Paradenofi, would have been the smart one, is to have the long back legs and short stubby fronts. But yeah, that's where that kind of camera would come in very handy for you. See, this is why I like interacting with the chat. We'll just talk about a few things, and then I just go in and get your opinions. I like these kind of lives much better, where I'm interacting with you guys. And if I was sitting here showing you all the pictures and doing all that, the one-man show, trying to pull all the curtain strings and all that to make it happen, I would be missing out on all your input. Someone's selling. Jonathan, I'm not selling the Mini 2, that Pro controller that comes in the Premium Fly More combo with the Mini 3. Will fly all Mini series drones from DJI. If that's the case. If it will. So far nothing is written in stone on that one, but if it will, that would be cool. That's another thing. I just wish, like, that was the good thing about the old days of RC, and majority of your stuff, like any Hubsan drone that you bought back then, of the days before Wi-Fi, when we're flying RC quads, you could take 2 or 3 Hubsan controllers and bind them to one quad. Not at the same time, but you could take your standard controller, you could take your advanced controller, you could take the H7000 controller, and you could bind them all to a 501 model. 501S at that time, or SS, or before they started playing the whole alphabet. Like that guy right there. Oh, by the way, I've mentioned it before. I'm going to make it more of an announcement, probably in my Facebook group. Again, if you want to join that group, if you haven't, I'll pop that in there in the chat. But that's probably where I'll announce it first. But that lamp's going for sale. It's a Hubsan 501 SS white. It might have been an A. I don't know. I just put the frame together. I put the lampshades on it, the windshield, all that stuff. It's got real motors in it, props, and then I did all the wiring. You can run the LEDs separately, or you can turn on the lamp separately, or you can put them all both. But that I'm going to sell, and that's going to be a charity auction type thing. So it's basically going to be whoever offers the most money gets that lamp. So what I'll probably do with that lamp is make it a period of time, a month, maybe longer, I don't know. And just say, put in your prices. Put your price bid in there. You can keep it private and send it to me in Messenger or email or what have it. And it's going to sell. So talking about the RC days and all that in Hubson, that's what brought me onto the lamp. But there were a handful of people that really wanted this lamp when I first made it. And it's a good quality lamp. But now I'm going to replace it with an Evo 2. I've got a shell, all this stuff to do an Evo 2. And I'm going to use, just for the battery compartment, just the outer shell of an Evo 2 battery, and then stuff all the electronics in there. We say here to a belly, good. What? We say here to a belly, a good jackhammer also needs a good compressor. You got to remember, I forget quickly. So I forget what we were talking about or what I might have said. Pronounce with a French accent. See, you guys, now you're losing me. What the freak are you talking about? Not your name. Don't get me screwed up on your name again. Or are you're not talking about Ducati because that's Italian. And I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I guess you'll inform me down below. Please let me know what the hell you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about, Patrick, with Ducati. I don't know what you're talking about, Akira show with the pronounce it in French accent. You guys have lost me. Thankfully, the battery will be backward compatible, not. Meaning snaps in the back, I guess is what you're saying. It looks like it snaps in the back. It's a lithium ion. I think it was 2345 milliamp hours, something like that. 2345 or 2435. I think it was 2345. 2345 milliamp hours, lithium ion. Oh, my belly. I'm sorry. Yeah, see, if I was just sitting here watching somebody else, your mind stays clear. But when you're sitting here doing this and you're trying to keep in mind some things you want to try to remember to talk about, and then you're going over all the different comments and talking about those things, and then you go back after you've been rambling on or droning on like I do, and then you go back and you see something you forget. So yeah, now I feel really stupid because it was about talking about my belly. And then my Ducati t-shirt. Okay. All right. Yes. I like Ducati motorcycles. And, okay. So, yeah. So this is where you're talking about the French QCG. QCG. That's probably about as good as I can do with French. This is the QCG show. Thank you very much for watching. Oh boy. All right, so we're going to be wrapping it up here. I'm over an hour. I'm an hour and 15 minutes. So I'm going to just go through these last comments. Not all of them, but just got a great time. Shift of snow could be the last one. Dog came in frame and peed. Make a little night lamp, a night light. Make a lamp with the Nano. Only the turd would light sideways. I'll take the Nano and make a lamp of it. Yeah, make a little night light out of it, actually. That's actually a good idea. And do it like it's flying crooked in crab formation, too. Left arm forward or right arm forward and tilt it, or wind blowing it backwards. Yeah, that might be that's one hell of an expensive. I mean, I got a refund on it, so I can make a lamp out of it. Maybe that's what I'll do. Thank you. Good idea. Noticed that DJI FPV drone dropped in price. Do you think sales caused the price drop? I don't think sales caused the price drop when DJI. I don't know, when DJI drops the price. I don't think they really care about sales. I don't think it's really hurting them. I mean, yeah, maybe they've gone and produced more than they are selling. I don't study DJI. Like, people really know the whole DNA and the heartbeat of DJI to where they know when a price will drop sometimes. They know everything about that, or at least they claim to. They claim to have all these inside sources like Bill the Drone Reviewer. Those are the ones I completely take with a grain of salt. But there's a lot of guys out there that they'll say these things and they'll be wrong, but they'll talk about stuff like this, and then if you sit and watch and pay attention, you'll see they were dead on. So I'm not that guy. I don't know why there's a price drop in them. So I don't even know. I thought they went back. I knew there was a price drop, but I thought they went back up in price. But Evo 2 did it for a while where it was a really nice price. I think it was like a $400 price drop on that baby. And then Skydio 2, they did their price drop. So I don't know if it's for sales or just to bring back the attention of, hey, here I am over here. But there are also rumors of a DJI FPV 2 coming out, which, if the drawings or the pictures of that are a joke or what, I don't know, but it looks totally disappointing. Like, I really thought, I hope if DJI goes to an FPV version after their first one, that they would go to more of a traditional FPV type quad, not something so breakable that makes me not put it into manual mode. I will not fly that quad into manual mode, even if I become a very good seasoned FPV pilot. That's where the iFlight Nazgul or whatever I buy after that will come into play. And no, I'm not a good FPV pilot right now. I suck. Come on, Patrick. You're real close by. Like, you could bring me a Ducati. You really could. You should. That would be a good gift. I don't care if you built it yourself. I don't know if I'd want to ride it, but I was talking about people giving me gifts that are handcrafted. All right, so not always, though. DJI doesn't always do that. They don't always drop a price. DJI doesn't often. Just like you always go with Apple and DJI, they are very much alike. They don't drop the quads every time a new one comes out. That is definitely a sign that you can look at. So $9.99 currently. Oops, sorry. Bill the Drone Reviewer is a joke and not a good joke. I don't know what's going on with that guy. I don't know what kind of reviewing he's doing. Go watch his DJI Mavic 3 I Almost Lost It video. Go watch that. Go watch how he flies it and how he almost lost it. And That's how he flies every quad. He goes out straight, makes a left-hand turn, comes back straight, says, I'm impressed. They did a great job, knocked it out of the park, review is done. I am not kidding. All line of sight, very short line distance. No turns of curves or anything. It's go out and literally stop, turn, go this way, literally stop, turn. It's crazy. But go watch his DJI Mavic 3. I almost lost it video. It's hilarious. Don, you're back. Yeah, a smaller DJI FPV would be cool. Be better if modular. Yeah, if they're going to step into FPV, they need to listen to what everybody was saying. And a lot of people want better camera. DJI can probably do it, and they should go more into your typical FPV type frames and make it so everything is plug and play, that when it breaks, we can just plug in a new one. We don't have to program it. We don't have to do all the crazy shit DJI will make you do. Just like if you have a DJI gimbal quad and you change that camera. I work on them. I can no longer replace gimbals. I'm completely locked out of the software that I used to be able to do that on with like the Mavic Pro and stuff like that. You have to be a certified DJI mechanic, dealer, what have it, to have that licensed program to program that gimbal to marry to that quad. And they do that on purpose, and it's stupid. So an FPV quad, make it so everything that we take out of it, we can replace ourselves. Not send an FPV quad in for DJI Care refresh, which sounds ridiculous when it comes to an FPV quad. So we're going to wrap it up here, guys. Rumors of... yeah, come on back on the next live and let's talk about that one further too, about DJI FPV Mini. Maybe this is the reason why they dropped the price. I think there's many ways they could go with FPV. They could have a whole string line of FPV and be very successful at it if they did it right. If they stuck with what is successful with others. And that's coming from somebody who's not like locked into FPV like so many others have, just made that complete switch. What's your thought on the price of price for the Mini 3? You need to go back to my show with, I don't have my notes. But my price, I wrote everything down on mine. My guess is there, Jonathan, because Chad and I both did not see eye to eye on that, and I don't have that in front of me. Or do I? Yes, I do. I still have my show notes. My price for the base price, I'm going with the fact that if Mini 3 comes out with 3 versions, a base, a Fly More base, of the base, and then a Pro version, and maybe a Pro Fly More, but I didn't price that. But let's just go with the base price and a Fly More. I put a $100 window in there, so for the base Mini 3, I said $650 to $750 American dollars, and for the Fly More, I put $799 to $899. Why I jumped from $50 to $99, I don't know. And then for a Pro, if that Pro were to consist just with say, more batteries and that Pro controller or advanced controller, I went with $1299 to $1399. So that's not sticking with traditional price hikes of DJI. It's also adding in the factors of the increased costs that we're seeing from these manufacturers now. Yeah, Don, I can tell when you're here and when you're not. I know. But no. I know you're a busy man anyhow. I was just kidding. Yes, they are great entertainment. I do find Bill extremely entertaining, especially one time he had to fly away and he cried, literally cried, and you could hear his wife in the background talking him down. He got so much crap over that video, he pulled it down, unfortunately. So you can't see that, or maybe you can. Maybe some people have downloaded that video and still have it today, but he's very entertaining, and Marcus is very entertaining to watch too. I don't know what anybody really gets out of a Marcus video because they are all identical. They're exactly the same. So I guess you get a good comparison from one quad to the other, but I don't understand when you go and compare something like this to a Skydio 2. Those are the nutty things that crack me up where I find them entertaining. So, yeah. Entertainment factor on both of those channels. I don't take anything they say. I take it all with a grain of salt. Neither one of them are very tech at all. It's all what I've heard, what I've seen, copy, paste, all that kind of stuff. They're constantly being taught by their audience, where I am too. Everybody, we're all being taught by our audience. But come on, guys. I mean, I'm a pro. I'm a drone pro. I am a professional pilot here. There's not much you can teach me. I hope you don't take that serious. What I just said, it was a complete joke. I am a pretty damn good pilot, though. I think I am. I think when I can take a quad and I can put it in tight situations and do things that most people will not do with a drone, I think I'm pretty damn good on the controls with them. So I really impressed my son-in-law when I ran out of battery and had to emergency land. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up here because we can just keep on going and going and going and going. But, yeah, I'll just end it off of Turbo LED there. I'll end it off your comment. Marcus videos are all similar except when the Xeno Mini Pro has hiccups and he has to walk back to pick up the drone. Or if his prop flies off on a Fimi X8 SE when it's only 4 or 5 feet off the ground, and it's called catastrophic prop failure. But anyhow, show tonight, Gasket Mike. I want to say yes, but it's really hard. I'm going to say yes, and then I'm going to work hard on trying to get somebody to do it with me. And there was one person I wanted to do. I wanted to do a live with, and I don't know if I should say anything now. Maybe I can, because I really don't think it'll happen. But I told you guys earlier on, there's going to be somebody who's going to be a guest with me, and we're going to talk about the Nano, the latest updates and everything on it. But it was Henrik from Tech Drone Media. He agreed that he would come on as a guest, but there is a big time difference there, and I don't know. He doesn't communicate with me as much as he did in the beginning. We are, Facebook pals, messaging back and forth with the new updates and discussing things that we see with these quads. And I haven't really talked to him except to extend an invite to do a live here this weekend, but he said he's too busy. But yeah, I do need somebody that I can have by my side to help me out here by my side on the screen. But so that's that. Let's go ahead and end it. I like him. He's a little bit clickbaity. He might not like me saying that. He's a little clickbaity, but he's on top of everything, and you've got to love his personality. He's a happy, fun-going person. He's just easygoing. Always giggling. He just cracks me up. I enjoy his videos. I can pretty much sit through and watch his whole entire video. So he is a nice guy, and I would really like to have him come on. But maybe when people watch some of my lives and see me throwing the F-bomb and drinking alcohol and stuff like that, maybe after they see that, they decide they change their mind and say, no, I don't want to come on your live. So I don't know. But anyhow, everybody, thank you for coming and watching this live rare daytime live for me. And we'll end it on that by just saying I'm going to do my best tonight. If I do it tonight, it will be 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, New York time. And hopefully I'll have somebody to do that with if I do it. So, but if I don't find somebody, I'm a little picky in that area. Then even though I have Chad, I'm still picky. If I were picky, real picky, I wouldn't even have Chad. But I don't want to just have anybody that does all these live streams. You know the guys. They all do everybody's live streams, and I'd rather get somebody fresh probably. So if one of you are here in the audience or watching this live and you want to come on with me tonight at 8 p.m., shoot me a message, email me at qcguy.chris@gmail.com, and we'll talk. So my stomach's growling. That means it's time for me to go eat lunch because I'm late for that. And we'll catch you guys on the next live or next video, firmware updates, whatever I do. And peace and love. We'll catch you later.